Have you ever wondered what life might feel like if you find yourself growing older, alone? Most people don't think about it until it happens, until the house feels too quiet, until the days stretch longer than they used to, until the people you once shared your routine with, your spouse, your closest friends, even your children, move on, move away, or pass on. And one day you realize you're spending more time with your own thoughts than with anyone else. The truth is, aging alone is one of life's greatest emotional challenges. Not because you're weak, but because it's hard for the human heart to exist in silence for too long. But here's what most people don't realize. Growing older on your own doesn't mean you're destined for loneliness or regret. You still have the power to shape the life ahead of you. One choice, one habit, one small decision at a time. With the right mindset and daily actions, solitude can transform into peace. Quiet can become purposeful, and the time you spend with yourself can turn into the most fulfilling chapter yet. That's why in today's video, I want to walk you through 6 essential habits that every older adult, especially those facing this journey alone, should do every single day. These habits aren't just about passing the time. They're about protecting your mind, strengthening your body, nurturing your emotions, and creating a life that feels truly worth living. On your terms. Because the real difference between feeling lonely and finding peace in solitude often comes down to the simple choices you make every morning. So stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share could transform the way you see your days ahead, helping you build a life filled with meaning, joy, and quiet confidence, no matter who's sitting next to you. Let's get started. 1. Establish a daily routine, your anchor in solitude. One of the most powerful ways to protect your emotional well-being as you age, especially if you're living alone, is to create a daily routine. Without it, the days can start to blur together. You wake up, glance at the clock, and wonder what you're supposed to do next. The hours stretch long, and little by little, that aimlessness chips away at your energy, your motivation, and even your sense of self. But when you build a routine, something beautiful happens. You give yourself a reason to get up in the morning. You create a rhythm that keeps life moving forward, no matter what changes around you. And most importantly, you remind yourself that you're still in control. Now don't worry, I'm not talking about packing every hour with chores or errands. Your routine doesn't have to be rigid or complicated. It simply needs to include small things that make you feel good, that give structure to your day, and that help you feel grounded in the present moment. In fact, one of the most important routines you can create is how you start your morning, because the way your day begins often shapes how the rest of it unfolds. Consider something as simple as this. Wake up at the same time each morning, no matter what. Make your bed. It sounds small, but it creates an instant sense of accomplishment. Open the curtains. Let the sunlight in. Enjoy a warm cup of coffee or tea slowly. Step outside, even for just 5 minutes, and breathe in the fresh air. These gentle rituals signal to your mind and body that life is happening and that you're a part of it. Let me share the story of Robert, a 76-year-old retired engineer. After his wife passed away, Robert found himself slipping. He started sleeping in later, skipping meals, spending hours lost in front of the television. And soon every day felt the same, lonely, empty, and heavy. But then he made a simple change. He wrote down a daily schedule. Nothing fancy, just a plan to wake up early, take a short morning walk, cook himself a good breakfast, and call one family member every afternoon. And you know what happened? Robert told me, once I had that structure, I didn't feel like I was just waiting for the day to end anymore. I started feeling like I was living again. That's the quiet power of a routine. It keeps you anchored, especially on the days when emotions run high or the silence feels too loud. Even the smallest habits, watering your plants, listening to your favorite music in the evening, or jotting down a few thoughts in a journal before bed, can create comfort, stability, and meaning. If you ever catch yourself feeling like time is slipping through your fingers or like life has lost its shape, start small. Write down a simple morning routine. Plan your meals for the day. Set aside time, just 10 or 15 minutes, for something you love. The truth is, a well-planned routine doesn't just fill the hours. It gives your life a gentle rhythm, a sense of purpose, and the comforting reminder that you are still steering the ship. 2. Prioritize physical movement. Protect your strength, energy, and independence. Here's something most people don't realize until it's too late. One of the fastest ways to lose your independence after 60 isn't your memory, it's your muscles. As we age, it's natural to slow down. The body changes, energy levels dip, and joints start to ache. But slowing down too much, that's where the real danger lies. Because the moment you stop moving, your body starts weakening. You lose muscle, balance, and flexibility. And what was once easy, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or even getting out of a chair, becomes a struggle. But here's the good news. Staying physically active is the closest thing we have to a real fountain of youth. And no, you don't need to lift heavy weights or run marathons. The secret is simple. Move every single day. Even small, consistent movement keeps your muscles strong, your joints flexible, and your mind sharp. Let me tell you about Eleanor, a 78-year-old retired librarian. After retirement, Eleanor slowly became less active. She found herself sitting for hours, reading, watching TV, or just staring out the window. At first, she thought it was harmless. After all, she deserved to relax after working hard all her life. But within a year, she noticed something unsettling. Simple tasks, like bending down to pick up her newspaper or walking through the grocery store, started feeling harder. Her knees ached. Her balance felt shaky. She thought, well, maybe this is just what getting old feels like. But deep down, she knew she wasn't ready to give in. That's when she made a small but life-changing decision. She joined a local walking group. She also started doing gentle stretching exercises every morning, just 10 minutes a day. And within weeks, Eleanor felt the difference. Her posture improved. Her energy returned. Even her sleep became deeper and more restful. What changed? She started treating movement not as an occasional activity, but as a daily necessity, just like eating or sleeping. The truth is, the more you move, the easier it becomes. And the less you move, the faster everything weakens. Even if you struggle with mobility, there are still ways to stay active. Gentle chair exercises, water aerobics for joint-friendly movement. Simply standing up and sitting down multiple times to strengthen your legs. And here's something many people don't know. Staying physically active also protects your brain. Multiple studies show that regular movement, especially walking, is one of the best ways to reduce the risk of cognitive decline and dementia. Why? Because when you move, you boost blood flow to the brain. You lower your stress levels. You release hormones that protect memory and sharp thinking. So if you've been feeling a little sluggish lately, or if your body's been whispering that it's time to slow down, I want to gently challenge you. Start small, but start today. Take a 5-minute walk after breakfast. Do a few light stretches while watching TV. Try lifting light hand weights or even canned goods just to wake up those muscles. You don't need to run. You don't need to sweat buckets. You just need to move every day. Because the more you move, the more you protect your independence, your energy, and your quality of life. And trust me, your future self will thank you. 3. Stay socially engaged. Because connection is what keeps the heart alive. Now here's something most people overlook as they grow older. It's not just our bodies that need exercise. Our hearts and minds need connection just as much. And yet, for many seniors, social circles shrink with every passing year. Friends move away, loved ones get busy, some relationships fade, and others are lost. Little by little, the days grow quieter. But here's the hard truth. Loneliness isn't just sad, it's dangerous. Research shows that chronic loneliness is as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It raises your risk of heart disease, depression, and even cognitive decline. The good news? There's a simple, powerful solution, and it's something you can control every single day. Reach out, connect, stay engaged. It doesn't have to mean big social gatherings or parties. Small, meaningful interactions make all the difference. A quick phone call, a chat with a neighbor, a friendly hello to the cashier at the store. Human connection feeds the soul. Let me share Frank's story. Frank is an 80-year-old widower who, after his wife passed, found himself sinking into silence. He stopped picking up the phone, stopped leaving the house, told himself, "Everyone's busy. I don't want to bother anyone." Weeks turned into months. Frank felt like the world had forgotten him. Even the simplest tasks, like making breakfast or getting dressed, felt heavy. But one evening, Frank made a decision that changed everything. He called an old friend. The conversation was short, but for the first time in months, he laughed. He felt seen. That small spark gave him the courage to do more. Frank joined a local senior center. He signed up for a weekly chess group online. Slowly, his world expanded again. And you know what? He started feeling alive. Here's what Frank learned. Social connection isn't just nice, it's necessary. It reminds us that we still belong, that we still matter. And thanks to today's technology, staying connected is easier than ever, even if your loved ones live far away. Video calls, text messages, online communities where you can share stories, hobbies, even jokes. Many seniors find new friendships online, proving that connection has no age limit. Remember, loneliness isn't just about being physically alone. It's about feeling disconnected from the world around you. So make it a habit. Call someone today, even just to say hello. Join a club, online or in person. Chat with a neighbor. Send a text or an email to someone you've been thinking about, because every connection, no matter how small, keeps your heart open and your mind engaged. And the more you reach out, the easier it becomes. Before you know it, you'll have a circle of people who care, who listen, and who remind you that you're never truly alone. You are part of this world, and you still have so much to give. 4. Keep your mind stimulated, because a sharp mind keeps you young. Now here's something truly worth remembering. Your brain is a powerful muscle, and just like your body, if you stop using it, it starts to weaken. Many people assume that forgetfulness or slowing down mentally is just part of aging, but science and real life tells us a different story. Your mind craves stimulation, and the more you give it, the sharper, faster, and more alive you feel at any age. Let me share Janet's story. At 74, Janet, a retired school teacher, noticed her days were starting to blur. She'd sit in front of the television, zoning out. She forgot where she placed her keys. She'd walk into the kitchen and forget why she was there. At first, she shrugged it off. I guess this is just what getting older feels like. But deep down, she missed feeling sharp. She missed the spark of curiosity, of learning something new. So she made a simple decision. Every day, she'd challenge her brain. Janet started small, morning crossword puzzles with her coffee. Then she picked up books she'd always meant to read. Eventually, she enrolled in an online Spanish class, something she dreamed of doing but never had the time for. Within weeks, everything changed. Her memory improved. Her focus came back. And most importantly, she felt excited about her days again. The truth is, your brain loves a challenge. It thrives when you're learning, solving problems, or simply thinking in new ways. And the best part? There are so many simple ways to keep your mind engaged. Read a chapter of a book every day. Try puzzles, Sudoku, or strategy games. Write in a journal. Learn a new skill, gardening, painting, even a new recipe. Have meaningful conversations with people who challenge your perspective. Every time you try something new, your brain creates fresh connections. It builds resilience, and that's what keeps your memory strong, your thinking sharp, and your creativity flowing. It's not about becoming an expert. It's about staying curious, about waking up with something to look forward to. And here's another important benefit. Keeping your mind active helps protect against depression and cognitive decline. Studies show that seniors who engage their brains daily are far less likely to develop memory issues or feel emotionally drained. Because when your mind is busy learning, growing, and exploring, you feel alive. So today, ask yourself, what new thing can I try? What skill have I always wanted to learn? What book is sitting on my shelf waiting to be opened? It's never too late to start. Your brain is ready, and every step you take keeps your mind sharp, your heart light, and your days filled with purpose. Practice gratitude and daily reflection, the small habit that brings peace. Now here's something most people overlook. The older we get, the easier it becomes to focus on what we've lost. People we loved, opportunities missed, or the simple passing of time. But what if I told you that shifting your focus just a little each day could completely change how you feel? That's the power of gratitude. Gratitude isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing every single day to notice what's still good. The sunlight pouring through your window, the taste of your morning coffee, a warm memory that makes you smile. And when you practice gratitude, something amazing happens. You stop feeling like life is slipping away. Instead, you start to see how much beauty still surrounds you. Let me share George's story.
George is 79, a retired firefighter. A few years ago, he lost his wife, the love of his life. After she passed, George found himself drowning in loneliness. His days were filled with silence and his nights were restless. He told me, "I kept thinking about what I didn't have anymore. It made me bitter, angry at the world." One day, someone suggested he try keeping a simple gratitude journal. Write down 3 things he was thankful for every morning. At first, George resisted. What was there to be grateful for, really? But he gave it a shot. His first entries were simple: the smell of coffee, sunrise, the neighbor's dog wagging his tail at me. And slowly, something shifted. George realized that even in his grief, his life was still full of small blessings. His mood lifted. He smiled more. He even started looking forward to those quiet mornings with his journal. That's the quiet power of gratitude. And it's backed by science. Studies show that people who practice gratitude daily experience less depression, sleep better, and feel a deeper sense of meaning. But it doesn't stop there. Reflection is equally important. Taking just 5 minutes a day to sit quietly, whether you're praying, meditating, or simply watching the sunset, can help you feel grounded, calm, and connected to something bigger than yourself. Reflection gives your mind space to breathe. It helps you process your thoughts, let go of stress, and focus on what truly matters. And the best part? You don't need fancy tools or hours of your day. A quiet moment on your porch, a few deep breaths before bed, a simple thought like, "Today, I'm grateful I woke up." These small moments build emotional resilience. They remind you that no matter what life takes away, you still have the power to choose your perspective. So today, try this. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Sit for a few quiet minutes and reflect. Notice how different you feel. Because the truth is, gratitude and reflection don't just make life better. They make you better, stronger, calmer, and more at peace with the life you're living. 6. Find a way to help others because purpose keeps you alive. Now, here's a truth many people don't realize until it's too late. One of the fastest ways to overcome loneliness and create joy in your own life is to help someone else. It may sound simple, but it's powerful. When you give, you remind yourself, you still have value, you still have something meaningful to offer this world. And no, helping others doesn't mean you have to volunteer for hours or donate large sums. Sometimes the smallest gestures make the biggest impact. Let me introduce you to Margaret. At 82, Margaret, a retired nurse, felt like her world had grown quiet. Her kids were busy, friends had moved away, and most days she felt invisible. She told me, "I just didn't know who I was anymore." But instead of giving in to that emptiness, Margaret made a decision. She'd start volunteering at the local food pantry, just a few hours a week. The change was incredible. Suddenly, she was needed again. People smiled when they saw her. She laughed, swapped stories, and felt that deep sense of purpose she thought she'd lost. Margaret told me, "I realized, I'm not done yet. There are still people who need me." And that's the secret. When you help others, you create connection. You break out of your own bubble of loneliness and see that your life still matters, not just to you, but to others too. And even if your health limits what you can do physically, there are always ways to give. Call someone who's lonely. Send a kind note. Share your wisdom with a younger person. Lend a listening ear. Even a simple smile at the grocery store can brighten someone's day and yours. Giving makes you feel needed. It reminds you that you're part of something bigger. And more than that, it keeps your spirit alive. Because at the end of the day, what most of us really crave isn't just comfort or entertainment. It's that feeling of being useful, of being connected, of knowing we still make a difference. And trust me, you do.
Final thoughts. You're never too old to build a life you love. As we wrap up, I want you to take a moment and really think about these 6 habits. Create a daily routine. Keep moving your body. Stay socially engaged. Challenge your mind. Practice gratitude and reflection. And find a way to give back. None of these are complicated, but together they're life-changing. Because aging alone doesn't have to mean living in loneliness. It's these small, intentional choices, made every single day, that build a life filled with meaning, purpose, and even joy. And here's the most important part. You still have so much to offer, so many reasons to wake up and embrace each new day. Your life isn't over. In fact, in many ways, it's just beginning a new chapter, one where you are in full control. If today's video resonated with you, I'd love to know, which of these 6 habits are you ready to start today? Leave me a comment below and share your thoughts. Let's inspire each other, because reading your stories gives me and this community so much encouragement. And if you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. It helps us keep creating content that informs, uplifts, and reminds you. You're never alone in this journey. Thank you for being here with me today. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.